So the next prong of our three-prong system here is the mission, right? And what's awesome about the mission is that it sort of takes advantage of the community in an unsupervised outing on the part of the student. And students can do this in pairs, in groups, or by themselves. Doesn't matter. The idea is that a mission is a learning experience that we can set a kid loose on, and that they can really synthesize and have an incredible experience. So an example on this is the best way to get the idea across. If I wanted to teach students a little bit about public transportation as part of a learning experience, then I might challenge them to earn a badge or complete a mission, to maybe find the closest access point for public transportation and then ride it across town and take a digital picture with themselves doing something silly on the other side of town, and then ride the public transportation back. And so they're going to gather a lot of data, a lot of information with that experience, and then they're going to lay that data down lay that experience down in a WordPress blog, which is a real 21st century sort of portfolio. It's not like the portfolios that we're sort of failing to do with our graduation projects in North Carolina. But this ongoing WordPress blog the students will have is going to really create a 21st century record of their learning that they're going to then later use in order to show what they've learned in this experiences when it's time to apply for college. But more on that later. Imagine this journey into the community as being anything from short, like a public transportation trip, or long, like a job shadowing or professional networking experience where they're doing 40 hours as a volunteer, or really exploring and digging in to a community resource. So another example, which is a really cool thing we're working on right now, is the idea of academies, right? So as an academy, student interest might be something like information technology, right? So we have a student who's going to start, just to scratch the surface, and maybe they would volunteer somewhere like the Cramden Institute. And when they volunteer to build computers for students who don't have them, then they sort of spend their 40 hours at the Cramden Institute volunteering, and the next step then would be to maybe do a little job shadowing at Lenovo. And if they're still into it, right, then they graduate up the academy, and maybe by then they're going to do some volunteering with the NC State robotics team. So as you can see, the academies are going to build on each other, and that's an important concept as well. So missions are an unsupervised trip into the community where students are going to come together or on their own, and they're going to have some sort of real life learning experience. I want you to imagine a student trip into the community where the community's really embraced this program, and you have QR codes on the side of buildings where students can check in on their mobile technology and actually download real-time augmented reality learning or information where they can tap in, or geocaching in the community to access resources. So the missions is really, really exciting. It's an area of the school where there's no end to the innovation. And our next prong is going to be the adventures.